Who are China's nowhere girls? Just who are China's nowhere girls? Withdrawn, they think very little of themselves. Shunned by society and under constant pressure to conform. Usually unemployed or earning a pittance, their prospects are non-existent. So why bother? They've turned pessimistic, lethargic, and have given in to hopelessness and despair. China loves to come up with these little catchphrases to explain away huge swaths of people. You've heard of leftover women, of course. These are women who, even though they're about to turn 30, have the audacity to have remained single. In China, that's just unacceptable, and they're treated like garbage, deemed of little to no value to society. But suddenly, now we have another emerging group of women, the nowhere girls. These are young women in their prime who refuse to marry and have all but given up on life. Why do they exist, and why are their numbers growing so rapidly in China? I'll explain after a word from this video's sponsor. I think we can all agree that there are enough things in life to worry about and stress us out, and internet security just shouldn't be another thing that we add to the pile. That's why I suggest using a VPN. Surfshark VPN, my VPN of choice, gives me a lot of peace of mind. I know that it's shielding my IP address from would-be snoops, giving me that extra layer of security whenever I connect to the internet, and especially if I'm abroad or if I'm traveling, I know that using a VPN is going to shield me from these dodgy Wi-Fi connections you get in hotels, airports, and of course coffee shops. A VPN also helps you with discriminatory price gouging. Yeah, seriously. Some companies will charge you more if you try to order something from a specific region, and that's why this really helps. Also, content that's blocked in your country, you can unblock it with a VPN. Go to surfshark.deals/serpentsaday to get a huge discount off of a 2-year plan, plus 4 months extra. Hey babe, I just got us 4 months extra of Surfshark. That's surfshark.deals/serpentsaday and use the code serpentza. And now, back to the show. Unless they're part of a wealthy family or connected to the government, women have a rough time in China. There's a weird dynamic in Chinese society. You know when you hear people in the West complain about misogyny, toxic masculinity, male privilege and all that other stuff? Well, at least in the West there's some recourse. At least there are laws in place. But in China, it truly is a country of misogyny, toxic masculinity and male privilege. I mean, just look at their government. See any women there? Nope. Other than the ones serving tea, of course. The lack of sexual harassment laws, the fact that the woman who tried to raise awareness and start China's #MeToo movement was arrested and sentenced to 5 years in jail, and the fact that women are forced into prostitution and often trafficked and sold are just some of the uncomfortable truths that prove that China is not a friendly place if you're a woman. I know there will be some people that think this is a good thing, but I assure you that it is not. A government that truly suppresses women's rights and treats them as second-class citizens is a government that truly suppresses men's rights too, and the rights of all citizens. So, Let's start with job prospects. If you're one of the hundreds of millions of impoverished girls in China, you have very little chance of getting a good job. Even with an education, you're looking at low-end factory work, or if you're lucky, you can make it big as an electronics recycler in Shenzhen, or grab some very low-paying office work. These lower-paying jobs often require incredibly long hours and harsh working conditions. And at the end of the day, the money made is hardly worth the effort. If you have the option to just float along as a nowhere girl, then why not? Keep your eye out for these nowhere girls when you're in China. You often see them idling away, either in an internet cafe, on a street corner. You might catch a glimpse of them through a doorway. Women who come from lower class families, and to be honest, women in general, are not treated with the greatest amount of respect in China. They're treated as beasts of burden, as birthing machines, and as currency, sold off for a bride price to the highest bidder at a young age and expected to instantly give birth to ensure family prospects and stability. So, as a young woman, you can start to quickly realize that pursuing your dreams or goals in life are first not financially viable, as your job prospects suck and China's economy is declining rapidly, and secondly, not socially acceptable. Since you're expected to work, but also expected to get married in your early 20s, you're expected to give birth, and worst of all, you're expected to take care of your in-laws and their often overly spoilt son, your husband. Of course, this isn't always the situation. It's not always bad, but it's not for everyone. So rather than embrace the struggle and the stress of what's expected of you, why not pass the days as a nowhere girl? You see, leftover women have options. They're usually the ones that focused on their career and are successful, affording them options like the current trend of these 30-something Chinese women now studying postgraduate degrees in the West. They have the money, so they can escape societal pressures this way and forge ahead with their life and relationships free of their labels and pressures in mainland China. Nowhere girls don't have this luxury. They're young, they're broke, they're pessimistic, and they're forgotten. I hope this video has helped shine a light on this very large and growing segment of China's society. I truly believe that every single human being has worth and value, and I implore anyone who finds themselves in a seemingly hopeless situation to strive to rise above it, no matter how impossible it may be. I, for one, will never give up on you. Thank you all for watching, and please join me for up-to-date news, funny segments, and everything China on Friday for The China Show. Stay awesome.